Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear, and tonight I'm here to build a model kit and then start a knockoff Lego set, and then also, of course, hang out with all of you. And we'll start things by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, you can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. Vash is here. Welcome, Vash. Oh, excuse me. Yawning for some reason. I'm not that, I was to say I'm not that tired, but actually I am tired. We'll talk a bit about that as we progress through the stream. But yeah, it's a Monday. Hey, I'm John. Happy to have you here. Welcome. So we're going to finish the Sword Impulse Gundam. We need to build the backpack and the swords, and then we'll look at the, it's not a transformation. Hello, Crazy. Welcome. Welcome, Crazy Kook. I wouldn't call it like a full-fledged transformation, but it's got like segments. We can separate the segments if we want to do that. And then, of course, Ghost Valve's here. We'll say, of course, almost a year, 41 months. Thank you so much for that, Ghost Valve. Appreciate you very much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. And then we're going to work on, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name of this company. I don't know if they know, but they are... Tweandar. I'm going to go with Tweandar. Tweandar made a knockoff Lego set, the A-Team van. So we're going to build that on stream. That's also going to happen. And we're going to kick things off by going to the overhead camera. And you can see here we do have our Sword Impulse here. And we've got our little jet as well that we have built. This is like 4 pieces, I think. And so we will finish this by working on the backpack, which does involve some stickers. We got some big stickers to put on there, unfortunately, but we'll make do. What we got to do. Yeah, so we'll build that. Oh, also, I forgot. We have the beam boomerangs. Hey, Lord Crashington, they look kind of like daggers, but half of them are, but they're really a boomerang. So we do have to build boomerangs. So we should do that. But we'll get through the swords and all that because, yeah, like I said, we do have a few stickers left to construct. So we'll get started on that. We'll start by saying, hopefully everything looks okay and sounds okay and works well. I did completely tear down everything to rebuild everything. If you were here on Saturday, you may remember that I was talking about how I was going to be doing some cleaning in this room. Our neighbors have a carpet cleaner, and so I did that with my parents' bedroom, and I did this bedroom as well. And because this bedroom's kind of tight with all of the stuff, so I took off everything off the floor, including the table that I'm building on currently, and set up my computer in the office, which has a day bed. It has like a love seat, and that pulls out. So it's not the same as like a couch bed. Or a sofa bed. This is like a love seat bed. So I did have that. But that's so I could thoroughly clean it and let it dry overnight, which I did let it do. And that went well. Didn't take too long to do all of that. Happy with the progress. I could have last night reset up my computer, but instead I waited till today and then cleaned up everything and then brought everything back in. And use that as an excuse to hopefully do a better job of organizing this room a bit and kind of get things placed where they should be. But that does mean that I had to set up my lighting again. I had to set up my overhead camera again and the desk in the right spot and make all that work. I'm leaning a little bit more over the desk than I would like. I'd like to be about here, and I'm leaning about there. I don't even know if you can tell. And I do think things are bright enough here. I believe that I've set this room up well enough. We'll see. We'll know over time if I need to make some adjustments, but I'm thinking that everything looks okay. That went well. Things cleaned up. I was happy with how things turned out. C27 are over here. Great. It was weird being in the office. One of the lamps in there has a white light bulb, that's supposed to be more like the natural light that you would see. But because I wasn't facing the window, but I did have that light on, it made it seem like it was bright out way later than it was. Like at 9 p.m., I was like, oh, it's probably like 6 or something. And I was like, oh, no, it is not. The lights played tricks on me, which I was not particularly prepared for. It was fine. But I was like, wait, what's happening? The main thing is I was saying like, oh, I don't know why I'm feeling tired. I do know why I'm feeling tired because that bed is uncomfortable. It is small and creaky and the mattress is thin. And I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I certainly don't believe that I got good sleep last night. We'll say that. But it was only one night and I'll bounce back, you know. It is nice now and again to kind of change up the environment. You know, I went to the other room and did stuff in that room and that feels different. So, you know, I can't complain about it, but I was like, I am looking forward to sleeping in my own bed, you know, the bed that I'm used to. But I got all that done and that's good. So, you know, that's really all I can say about that. I've got some news stories here. We'll do some quick news, and then we'll go into talking about AEW's Wrestle Dream, which happened during Saturday's stream. I had talked about the pre-show matches because I watched those, and then yesterday, or last night, I should say, I did watch the rest of the pay-per-view. Okay, so that's connected. Now I need PCA. It's right here. Okay. Has to go in there. That just lives like this. Looks like, okay. Sure. I can get that in there. Oh, can I? Can I get this in where it needs to go? We'll see. There it is. So yeah, quick news story. We did have a passing on Friday of a man who made his mark in pre-internet history. Crazy says I was there. It was great up until the attempted murder. Crazy, yeah. I mean that's a wild show to go to, and yeah, it had its ups and downs, some moments I didn't love, and then we'll get into it. But first, we do want to talk about someone that passed who left a mark on the pre-internet age. So I want to specify that this is one of the people responsible for the internet before the internet. Ward Christensen, who was one of the two people that came up with the computer bulletin board system, aka the BBS, died at 78. He, along with Randy Seuss, created the first BBS in Chicago in 1976. He was a longtime IBM employee that kind of stayed out of the limelight. He was an inventor and creator who didn't necessarily want to be well known, and by all reports was a real good person that people really liked, and you know, by all accounts was not bitter. You might imagine that someone that strived for the peer-to-peer communication on wouldn't love the dial in and connect with everyone style of the internet, but apparently he was cool and very chill. It's not been announced how he died, but reportedly peacefully in his home, but we do not know the cause of death, and I don't think we necessarily need to know that. So the thing is also, the BBS is like the next step in the line of the other thing that he came up with that was kind of fucking a big goddamn deal, which is X Modem, which is the file transfer protocol that made BBS's, like, the possibility of BBS is working. So yeah, he created the X Modem protocol, which basically just breaks stuff into packets, and then you send the packets, and then those packets get reassigned where they end up. And that added a lot of other protocols got made kind of along the line. And that was like That's what you needed because phone lines weren't the best at transferring data cleanly. So it was to break it up and then send over the parts, and then because that just made a lot more sense and worked. And again, I should say again, I am being fairly broad in this because this is technology that I don't pretend to fully and wholly understand, but this is, from what I can piece together. And then they came up with the idea for the first bullet board system during the Great Blizzard of 1978, because they had a computer club, but they wanted to keep doing stuff in the computer club. But of course, moving around was difficult. What with the blizzard? Also, I do want to stress how fucking nerdy and great it is that their computer club was called the Chicago Area Computer Hobbyist Exchange. Chicago Area Computer Hobbyist Exchange. Cash with an E. That is very fun. So basically, Christensen wrote the software. Seuss assembled the hardware. And there is I'll end this with a very funny anecdote, which is it took them 2 weeks to come to assemble all of it and to test it and make sure it all worked. But they said it took longer. And they said it took a month because they didn't want people to think that it wasn't finished or it was rushed. So they just said it took longer than it did. And that's very fucking smart. If you do a project that's due on a certain date and you're done very early, you can submit it early, but don't submit it too early because then people think that you didn't give it your all. When in reality, it's just not that difficult for you to do. But yeah, the digital bullet board fucking rules. It was cool as hell. Can't let teacher get suspicious. You're right, indeed. The other creator, the co-creator, Seuss, let me look up his name again because I had remembered it and then forgot it. Randy Seuss died in 2019, so now both of them have passed. Christensen was honored with the Dvorak Award, Lifetime Achievement, for outstanding contributions to PC telecommunications, and also a Pioneer Award from the EFF. But yeah, he worked at IBM until 2012. And he was just a sales guy there. He was a sales specialist at IBM, which is that's seemingly just how he wanted to work and what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do things. But yeah, felt like something to mention. Okay, so let's see if I can snap this together. I did snap it together there. Great. All right. Okay, oops, that popped off. That's fine. We can put that back on. Oof, it is warm in this room. My apologies if I appear to be a sweaty mess, because in truth I am, because it's warm in here. All of these lights and all of that. We do have to put on some tiny stickers. So we'll get some of that together. We got small plastic parts here, and so we got to put small stickers on those parts, but we'll do the easy piece first, and then we'll do the ones that require stickers. I think we can assemble it and then put the stickers on. But we can put that goes on there, so we'll do that first. Let's see other things. Let's see if there's anything else we want to talk about here before we get into this. Is just a quick little thing. No idea exactly how many copies have been sold of Metaphor ReFantazio right now, but we know that it's well over 1 million because as of like Friday, it had sold over 1 million copies by Friday. And of course that involves pre-orders because some people still do pre-orders. And and it came out on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. And it has broken the record of Persona 3 Reload as the fastest selling title. So that, again, we don't know the hard numbers here. These are numbers given to us from Atlas, but good news for a game that, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see a lot of ads for. I didn't see a lot of buzz. I knew it was coming out because people I know who were really fucking psyched about it were talking about it, but I didn't feel like it was being like it was really out there. But I guess, there's just like enough love for these kinds of games that people were down for it. But yeah, good for them. All right, let's talk about Wrestle Dream 2024. We talked about the pre-show. The highlight was probably, I guess the highlight was the four-way fight where one team had 3 managers / assistants. The demo was the big marketing. Yes, Lord Crashton, you're right. I should have said that. It had a demo out there that people were really into, and so it does make sense that did a lot of marketing. That had some good buzz from it. So you're right. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. All right, so I do have to apply some stickers here. Let's get the pieces out that I need to get out, and then we will apply the 2 stickers that need to go on here. We need F2 and F3. So here's F2. And this is F3. And then these aren't that small, but they will require a sticker somewhere. And I do have to figure out how that sticker goes on. So, and then F3. Great. So if I look at this, it goes like this, and it goes in like that. That's how that's going to go in. Yeah. Then I just need to figure out how the stickers go on. That will be golden. So going through the card, Jay White defeated Hangman Adam Page. This was a bit of a tough spot because Hangman doesn't necessarily need to win things, and it's probably better that he doesn't win a lot because he is supposed to be going through it. And Jay White it's this weird situation where Jay White kind of needed the win here because he was back from a return and back from injury. So you give him the win and people are psyched about it. It further fuels Hangman's nonsense. I like that the match was actually kind of slow going for a little bit. The Death Valley Driver on the apron was fucking wild and cool. Paul Turner just dealt with so much goddamn yelling and abuse from Hangman. A wild amount of abuse from one Hangman Adam Page. All right, so let's see if I can see what this looks like. They're going to show me how that's supposed to look. No. Okay, so I don't know where these stickers go precisely. So I got to look at that. We are looking at stickers this simple, and these are black stickers here, and that is this one here. Okay. All right, it looks like I'm just covering the whole piece and making it black. This is a color correcting sticker. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so then how would that look? Where would you live? How do you look? You go like this? No, that doesn't look right. Okay, so this goes on here. This has got a clip in. Goes there. Oh, are you a bending sticker? Go like that. Okay, I think you do that. All right. Sorry, everybody. This is not super clear how this sticker is supposed to be applied. So I'm just trying to figure it out. You can also skip them. You know what? I'm going to skip them. No one's going to see these stickers anyway, and I'm not exactly sure how to put them on, so I'm not going to worry about it. So we'll just apply that, and we will feel okay about that. There are other stickers that are going to be put on that will be very noticeable because they go on the swords. This is just a thing that goes on the back of this that holds the swords in place. So I'm not too stressed about that, but we will panel line this so that everything looks nice. But we're not going to worry about those stickers because they're just color correcting stickers. I think that's fine. Yeah, so the other thing is I did think maybe Hangman Adam Page was going to win that match because AEW Jay White is not New Japan Jay White. He's not treated like the same guy. So in that respect, I was like, oh, well, maybe they aren't going to make sure to make him look good because they don't ever really make him look good. Dirty says, about the progress in the demo in ReFantazio. The demo that carries over progress would indeed be a great marketing tool. Yeah. Yes, certainly. You're not wrong. But yeah, Paul Turner, cover 3. Mariah May defeated Willow Nightingale in a match that went, how long did that match go? I have it written down here. 10 minutes and 50 seconds, which is not the shortest match on the card, but the second shortest match on the card. And like, part of me says, okay, well, that makes sense on the main card, not the pre-show. Because the pre-show shortest match was Anna Jay winning. This build came out kind of really fast. Mariah May already beat Willow Nightingale this year to win the Owen. So it didn't necessarily feel like this was going to happen at all. And that's a bad spot. I feel like there are other women on this roster that could have been in the position. Now, some people would say, oh, well, Pat, that was probably supposed to be Thunder Rosa because she got hurt and that's thrown everything out of whack. But it mainly feels like there's not enough care in the women's division. The women's division felt like it was being booked really well to make Mercedes Moné happy as she came in. Like there were promises made and it felt like they were taking good care of the division. And then all of a sudden, storylines have gotten kind of out of whack and everyone seems like, well, there's no one to fight Mariah May and Mercedes. And it's just like, there definitely are. And all I think of is like, did the Britt Baker Mercedes match go so poorly that people are like, what are we going to do? Did like Stephanie Vaquer choosing WWE over AEW really throw everyone off? Like, what's happening here? Like, what are we doing? How did this get so out of whack? Because it really feels very out of whack. And I don't know. I don't have answers for you on that. I thought this match was fine. Willow deserves better. I didn't think Willow was going to win the belt. I would love for Willow to win the belt, winning the world title, but this is not the right time. There's more shenanigans to come. Jack Perry defeated Shibata. Yeah, I mean, look, in a perfect world, storyline-wise, Shibata would win because Shibata always should be considered a threat, even if he's not always in AEW presented as a threat. He should always feel like one because he's fucking the wrestler. It's Shibata. Like, oh, it should always feel like any moment he could just win any match he wants to. And maybe all of the elite losing belts would have been good, or any of the elite losing their belts, because one could argue, and I think one could argue successfully because I'm making that argument, so of course I think I'm right. One could fucking argue that perhaps having two big and influential and powerful heel stables both acting like they run the place is a bad idea. That having the EVPs of the company and their friends holding the tag belts and 2 of the mid-card belts, and spoiler alert, a new faction holding the new version of a faction holding the trios belts and the world title, and they're both the top heel groups, seems out of whack and weird. So maybe everyone should have lost their belts, which we, of course, did not get. And I also don't think Kyle O'Reilly is going to win the Continental title. I just don't think that's going to happen. I would like it to happen because I would like people to win belts, but I don't see it, unfortunately. Sorry, I'm just going to trim this out a little bit. I'm not going to do the things. This is here right now so that I can put some beams on there, but I am not going to do that because I don't like how they look. So I am modifying this so they are just regular old swords. This is just my choice. You can do it a different way. I like doing it. I'm just going to make these nice blue stickered swords. Whereas I should, quote unquote, should put those there so I can put these beam blades on it. But I think those look really bad, so we're not going to do that. We're doing a little bit of a modification on a Monday stream. Jack Perry won. It was fine. Shibata didn't necessarily have a shot at winning this, which is annoying and weird to say, but true. But it was a good match. It was short, but good. MJF came out to interrupt Daniel Garcia, who was just cutting a promo as if he was standing there saying, hey, please interrupt me, someone that I am in a feud with, or possibly in a feud with. Because then MJF returns. He's done filming his movie stuff, possibly. They were going to have a face-to-face. Jack Perry shows up and hits MJ. He hits. Why he does this, I don't know. I guess to set up a feud between the two of them, but not really, I don't think. Anyway, Garcia gets beat up. While he's cutting a promo, he also, of course, MJF with the cheap heat. Makes a joke about the Seattle Supersonics, the defunct basketball team. And then Adam Cole, baby, shows up. And Cole is probably a babyface again. I guess we're just going to pretend like he didn't... he wasn't a heel leading a go-nowhere heel faction. I guess we're going to pretend that happened. Or that didn't happen. I don't know. He did get attacked by MJF. And some of the members of his stable have been acting kind of like baby faces, but not full baby faces. So it's like, okay, well, all right, well, okay. All right, well, okay. I guess that's where we're at. Let's see. Takeshita defeated Will Ospreay and Ricochet to become the new AEW International Champion. It's fucking finally happening, my friends. It's finally goddamn happening. Takeshita has a title. They're making moves with Takeshita. Craziest match of the night. I concur. I think spiritually the main event held a lot of importance to me as a old head wrestling fan. It certainly, that importance was felt to me. But as far as like dudes doing shit, people in the ring doing stuff and telling a story, it was wild and great. Kyle Fletcher turning on Ospreay is great because it means that theoretically he won't be going after Takeshita, and maybe Ricochet could go after Takeshita, or someone else go after Takeshita, because maybe he'll want to handle Kyle first. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know how they're going to book it, but that leaves the possibility that they could book it like that instead of booking the obvious like rematch or program, but also that program will be good. So they kind of have so many different ways to go. But that match was fucking awesome. Ricochet did not feel like an afterthought in this feud, which is great because that was my worry. No one felt like an afterthought. Everyone felt like they could win it. And it's been a while since I felt that way about Ricochet. So good on him, even in his brief time in AEW. When it was one-on-one with Ospreay, I wasn't like, oh, and this is the part where Ricochet wins. Like, I wasn't thinking that at the time. So in this match, there were moments where I was like, oh, they're gonna put this on Ricochet? Like, that's crazy. I think they might put this on Ricochet. They did not put the belt on Ricochet. Takeshita really did need a win here. He's needed some big wins. A belt is great because I think that early, like, I would not be surprised if Takeshita is AEW World Champion next summer. And he just had a tag match of Kingo and Glee. Yes, yeah, yeah. I thought it was solid as hell. And I mean, I can totally believe that Kyle would fuck around, especially doing the Tiger Driver. Now, speculation that Will is going to take some time off, and I think that's totally reasonable and fine if he fakes an injury so that he can, a storyline injury, I should say, so that he can take some time off, because that man weekly commutes to the UK or from the UK. He commutes back and forth, and that's what he does for love, and so we respect it and appreciate it that his wife and stepson live in the United Kingdom and want to stay in the United Kingdom so they can be with family, because that family, before Will entered their lives, went through some tragedy, and so being near the family they have is very important to them, and so Will commutes, and that's wild. But good on him. So yeah, so Will Ospreay is gonna fucking take some time, hang out, see what's up, and that's cool for him. That sounds rough all around. Completely, Lord Crashington, very rough. We had a Swerve Strickland thing. MVP has been talking shit about how Prince Nana, hey, your boy lost the belt with you. Went to DPW last night. Alex Winter was tagged with Emmy. Yeah, Vash, that card looked real good. I look forward to watching that in a month when it's on Wrestle Universe. But that card looked solid, all things considered. Location and having to do some changes to various things, including travel issues, preventing them to do some of the matches they had originally planned. That sounded like a really good card. Basically it was like, hey, this dude was with you. He's too worried about his coffee. He's not worried about you, and all this. And then he was like, yeah, but also he was there. The counter to that is, yeah, he was there when I became champion, and he's family. I don't turn my back on family for anybody. What the fuck are you talking about? It looks like Leo Rush and Shelton Benjamin are having a match. Bobby Lashley did not come out. It looks like Bobby Lashley, maybe Bobby Lashley will come out during or at the end of Wednesday. Who knows? He is reportedly signed with AEW. We won't know until he shows up if he really is or not, for sure. I don't think Bobby Lashley is going to make waves. I don't think they're going to put... I don't see Bobby Lashley doing a lot in AEW. Now, Shelton Benjamin is going to have some good fucking matches and travel back and forth and do New Japan again, and it's going to be wild and cool as hell. But Bobby Lashley, I don't know what the fuck Bobby Lashley does there. Vash says, talking about the DPW, Deadlock Pro Wrestling, the show was a bunch of fun. Some guy handed out streamers for Shoko and Emmy, so I got to do that. So, Vash, there is a non-zero chance, and I'm going to, so give me a second here. There's a non-zero chance that I know who gave those to you. let me make sure I get his exact name here. Let me go into my notifications so I get the username done. So VTuber, an all-around good person and friend of the stream in another world, personal friend of mine, Kit Saberfang, may be the person that handed you streamers, because I know that Kit was talking about doing it the right way. So maybe, I'm putting the maybe over on X, Twitter, maybe Kit Saberfang. Now I'm putting the link in the chat. Obviously, Vash, that's a VTuber, so you're not going to be like, that's exactly who it was. But there is a non-zero chance that my friend Kid Saberfang was the person that gave you streamers. In a couple days, they'll have video up about that event, and maybe you'll see yourself in that in their footage. Oh, yep, that's them. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's a. Now, I understand DPW, especially the Carolina shows. The Carolina shows for DPW, that is a small, not small, but a tight fan base. It's just very funny because I was like, well, I know that Kit was talking about throwing streamers and getting the quote-unquote good streamers. So it could be, and it is, and that's very funny. They're very good people. They're great people, so that's awesome. Anyway, Prince Nana and Strickland are tighter than ever. We don't know what they're gonna do. We don't know what's gonna happen there. We don't know if they're gonna feud with them or what. But yeah, that's awesome. That's very fun. I will definitely tell them that someone in my chat said that they received streamers at DPW, and we confirmed that that's you. That's small world and very fun. Yeah, I don't go out here and tell people who VTubers are unless they themselves say it. I will just say that Kit Saberfang was in the community. Perhaps Kit Saberfang has worked for a video game company that worked with wrestling companies. Perhaps Kit Saberfang, under another disguise as another person, participated in League of Heels. Perhaps Kid Saberfang, as another version of Kid Saberfang, was on an E3 couch for Giant Bomb. Perhaps. Mayhaps. We got big swords, everybody. Big swords mean big trouble. Could be anyone, says him, John. Yes, perhaps. They were in a package with instructions how to use them, which makes sense since most American fans wouldn't know how to use them. Yes, that's the thing. Streamers like Ring of Honor understood the Ring of Honor, like the New York and New Jersey Ring of Honor audiences understood how to throw streamers. But it is a kind of a dying art at this point in American wrestling audiences. And Philadelphia did an okay job for the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show. Los Angeles did a piss poor job. They did not a good job. My hope is that the DDT, TJPW, Prestige, or Defy, is it Defy, TJPW? I can't remember. There's a show in Washington, and my hope is that they'll step up. But yes. All right, back into wrestling. Hologram versus Mortos. 2 out of 3 falls match. This, if you told me Washington is Defy Wrestling, that's right. Yeah, so it's Defy, not Prestige. That's part of the crossover. If you told me that Hologram versus Beast Mortos was your match of the night, I would totally understand. What could have also been a main event on Collision was a very fucking good pay-per-view. And Mortos, look, I think Black Tauros, aka Beast Mortos, should just be a belt collector. Like, should have all the belts and should have all the prestige. I understand that a man like him is in a position where he does not lose much by losing, and so other people need the win. Like, hey, Hologram is going to keep winning until it makes sense for Hologram to lose. I think undefeated streaks hurt wrestlers over the long time. And the Martos is going to do the DPW show in Jersey. Yeah. I think undefeated streaks hurt wrestlers the longer undefeated streaks go, because then, like, you end up with this thing where it's like Asuka was undefeated for fucking 2 years and then lost to Charlotte. And it's like, yeah, man, sorry. Charlotte Flair was at the top of her division. Of course she beat Asuka. Asuka should have lost at some point before then. Like, Asuka should have lost in NXT. Like, it does a disservice to the wrestler. But so I do think I hope Hologram loses this year. I think it will only benefit Hologram to eventually have a loss there, because he's gonna have to eat a loss at some point. But I thought fucking whipped ass. Oops, I did. We should be back here in a second. Folks watching we had lots of drop frames here. Not drop frames. We had everything kind of went bad. Looks like we're back here. Okay, we don't drop frames, but we do lose our bits there. But it's back. Yes, I can see that. Folks that are watching the archive of this, you did not deal with that at all. My apologies. It is not a thing that I can really deal with. I have been experimenting with what server I'm on, using a tool to ping, not using Twitches, because Twitch is only good at telling you if you're going to drop some frames, and you can use that through OBS, but I'm using a separate program to do that, and so I've been experimenting with trying to use a Miami server instead of the Virginia server, because the Virginia server occasionally has some issues. But I can't just do one stream, so we'll test it a little bit longer and see how we feel about it. But if it, yeah, who knows? But yeah, I've been trying out a different server. Anyway, that 450 fucking looked rad. Bunch of cool moves here. Let's see. The Poison Rana was real good. The springboard crucifix bomb, I just wrote down, what the fuck? That was so good. And then we got the portal bomb for the win. And yeah, that was just like fucking liquid wrestling. Just real good, real kick-ass, goddamn professional wrestling that just looked real good and was real fucking tight and dope. Little moments of nonsense here and there, but that's lucha. That's some lucha there when you get those things. Darby Allin versus Brody King was kind of what you wanted. I don't like that they shook hands after, because I don't want Brody King to be a good person as a wrestler. The wrestler Brody King. I don't want him. I don't want that. I do not want the show respect, especially considering the aftermath moments of the show. And the positioning they are putting Darby Allin in. Darby Allin loses the opportunity to face Bryan Danielson to then, I guess, avenge Bryan Danielson. And I don't particularly need that myself. Your friend Pat doesn't necessarily feel that. Both because I don't think Darby Allin can cut a goddamn promo, and I am not saying that you have to be able to talk and cut a promo to be a world champion. But if you can't cut a fucking promo, then you need a manager. You need a mouthpiece if you are going to be in the world title picture. So if they are building Darby Allin to win the world title, they need to get someone to hang out with him and talk for him. Because this ain't going to work. His promos with Brody King, that was like, oh, I don't like either of these people now. That's not good. I should like one of them. I should want one of them to win this wrestling match, but I don't necessarily want either of them to win this wrestling match. That's not good. All right, so this goes here, and this goes this. Yeah, all right, that's how that works. No, that doesn't look right. Like that. How do these look? That doesn't feel right at all. That doesn't look right. This goes here, like that. And then this goes. Am I doing it wrong? Okay, I'm doing it wrong. Facing the wrong way. Just have Sting back as a manager. Yeah, something. Anyway, that match was good. That match was good. I thought it was solid. I don't have much to say about it. Again, I'm not big on Mr. Allen per se. We do have to put some stickers on these because we do have the beams that we will cut out and put on there in a moment here. We do have the stickers we put on. They live on the back. We're almost done with this kit. Young Bucks defeated Private Party. It just... What the fuck? Why? Why bother? Why try? Why try to make... Like... Private Party had the close-up. They changed their music. They had everyone remember that they can talk and they can cut a fucking promo. And like, why? Why go through that effort to, so you can think for a second, oh, they might have a chance. Well, then fucking just put the belt on. They need the belt in the Outrunners. I don't know. I don't think the Outrunners are going to win the belts. I think there's a difference between riding the momentum of people being psyched about a thing and actually going through with it. I don't know if AEW is going to pull the trigger on that. But they got to do something because the tag, like right now, we're just waiting for FTR to win the belts back. That's what we're doing. We're in a holding pattern for FTR. Now, obviously, you could argue that we are waiting for the Golden Lovers to take the belts off them. That Kenny and Kota are going to come back together. But that shit's months away. That's months and months away of Kenny feeling like he can come back and wrestle. And then also, Kenny Omega will have to carry his team. The guy who's recovering from surgery will have to carry his team because Kota Ibushi is held together by tape and lovable stupidity. Because Kota Ibushi is a dumb man. He's a great person. He seems incredible, personally and professionally. But he is just so dumb. Kota Ibushi is unbelievably dumb. And you can't, and also held together with tapes and prayer and misinformation. So you got to have Kenny at peak level if you're going to put the two of them together for any kind of like working, like to work a wrestling match. But right now we are just in a holding pattern waiting for FTR, for there to have been quote unquote enough time for FTR to take the titles off the Bucks. Look, it could be the Acclaimed again. It could be the Outrunners. I fear it won't be. Even having fucking their trainer that, like, hey, you know what? Amazing Red got a goddamn paid check. That's awesome. We love that for Amazing Red. Hog Wrestling getting a bunch of shout outs for an organization that is pretty okay, but certainly not an incredible indie, but I don't know. They make some good moves. They book some good matches. There are a lot of people that came out of Hog Wrestling and have been doing good shit. They put the belt on their belt on Mike Santana, which felt really weird. It's the show. It's Loki's home promotion, so that should say a lot about their current booking status. But yeah, it's Amazing Red's home, and that's nice. It's where they got their start, where they came together as a tag team, and that rules. But yeah, Matt cutting up. Like, here's the thing. Matt Jackson saying that Private Party are never going to be more than a mid-card act. If they're going to lose the match, don't say that, because you're making it true. And what's the point what's the point if you are a guy in your mid-20s and your tag team partner is in his early 30s? If you're in your mid-20s and your early 30s and the EVP of the company says in a promo that your team will never be better than mid-carders, knowing you're losing that match, why would you re-sign with AEW? Like, why? Why would you? Because you believe it? Well, they shouldn't believe it, even if it's true. Even if they are mid-card act at best, a fun tag team at best. Like, why would they stick around? Like, if they're going to lose, and I know they're heels, and they should act like assholes, but this is not hard when it comes to professional wrestling. You have to make your opponent feel like a threat so that when you beat them, it means something. When the Bucks say that Private Party are shit and then they beat them, it tells the audience that Private Party are shit. And and so it's like, oh great, the Bucks beat a shitty mid-card team. What does it matter? Who's celebrating? Like, if you're going to beat this young team, then give them the common courtesy to at least go, like, oh, we didn't want this match and blah, blah, and whatever. We're taking this seriously. Whatever dumb shit they need to say. Try to get out of the match, something. Make it feel like you might, for a moment, be fucking scared of those boys. So it means something. And there's at least a moment where the audience might buy into the fact that, holy shit, they could lose. Because there was never a point where I was like, oh, Bucks are definitely going to lose. Private Party's got this. Like, no. There's no way for me to think that. It sucks. It's like, now obviously, I am comparing one thing to another, and one thing involved racism and the other didn't. This storyline did not have anything. The fact that the Bucks are white and Private Party are black had nothing to do with the story they were telling. I only bring it up because I compare it to Triple H versus Booker T for the world title, where Triple H said, you people don't win, you people don't get things like this. And it had incredible racist overtones. And then Triple H won. And so I say that when we're talking about those kind of things, it's like, you have, like, it's not the same, but it's very fucking similar. Where you're telling a team that you guys don't mean anything. And then they don't overcome that. So then they just are a bad team. I've talked about this too long, but it frustrates me. Very, very weird. Mark Briscoe defeated Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World title. I thought they might do it. I was really worried they were going to do it again. I think Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor World title was an interesting time. He had some really fun matches with people. I did not want to see that be repeated. I didn't think they needed to do it. I thought Mark brought out a fairly okay match out of Jericho. So congratulations. Wasn't my favorite, but it was solid enough. He did his goddamn best. I think making it personal was unnecessary, but I guess I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea that they brought up Jay Briscoe. and made it very personal for seemingly no reason. I don't hate that because Mark won. Again, if Mark Briscoe loses that match and Jericho is right that he's not as good as his brother, like fuck off. But he won the match, so great. Jericho's a liar and full of shit. Perfect. That's what we needed in that moment. I can't figure out what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Oh, it goes like this. That's what it is. I was like, I couldn't figure out why this backpack wouldn't fit on because I think I was doing it wrong. No, I'm still doing it wrong. There it is. Backpack is on. It doesn't really fucking fit on, though. I wonder if I'm doing it wrong here. All right, here's the kit. We'll show the big swords, too, but... Why doesn't... Sorry, hold on. Okay, no, it goes on this way. It goes on like this. And then main event. We'll get through this quick, folks, and then we'll take a pause to the cause and all that. Jon Moxley, with the help of many people, including Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta betrays him. And a weird thing where Moxley was also Nigel McGuinness, the enemy of Bryan Danielson for decades, also was just like, that's my guy that I hate. You don't get to hate him like I hate him. That kind of, we had that kind of relationship there, which I was like not expecting, but I certainly didn't hate. I kind of like that. Like, no, that's the guy that I hate. You don't get to hate him. I found that fun. Lots of nonsense. Do we think that the Ricky Martin t-shirt guy was a plant, or was that just someone that Moxley had to go and yell at somebody and he picked the guy in the Ricky Martin shirt? I don't know if that's a plant or not. I will listen to either argument, but I think that is a very funny that was a very funny scene. All right, let's just take the backpack off because I can't really get it to fit right. We'll do this here. We got our twin boomerang blades here, and we'll take a photo of that, and then we'll take a photo with the swords as well. I don't know why I can't get that backpack to sit right, so I'm just gonna not do it. Yeah, I thought the match was good. I don't think that I contend, and I will stand by it, that Jon Moxley defeating Bryan Danielson doesn't make this bad story that they told suddenly good. It does not fix my issues with the fact that this character choice and this storyline is based on a movie that John saw about a real life neo-Nazi in Australia. Like, it doesn't make me happy that this is the thing they're going for, and this win doesn't suddenly make this nonsense make any sense, because of course, if Jon Moxley wanted a world title match, he just had to ask because they were in the same faction and friends. He didn't have to choke him with a bag and do all this, but he's got a grand plan and it's more than him and all this other stuff, and he's saving the company, and none of it makes any sense. All of it is weird, but sure. Danielson is now done with his full-time career. His full-time career is over. Jon Moxley is the 4-time champion. It doesn't feel good. It feels weird. I don't know exactly. It's all very strange. Did not like the main event ending. I like the match. I like that Jon Moxley has to fucking wrestle because he's been doing a brawling style for much of 2024, and I thought it was really shit. So I like that he is forced to wrestle against Danielson, or he was going to lose. I don't like the pass out thing. I think people got to fucking tap out in AEW more. The I've passed out, I'm done shit is just, I can't compete anymore stuff is just not what I'm here for, and I'm not super into it. Um, uh, JR. I don't know if Jim Ross was being sarcastic or not um, uh, when Jeff Jarrett tried to help make the save, but it came off as being really sarcastic. And I'm like, Jim, do you not know the product? People like JJ, and he's a credible threat. For, like, do you not know? Or is just your own personal feelings eking out? What happened there? It was weird. Um, Wheeler Yuta was supposed to make the save and then didn't. That happened at the end of the match. Darby and Orange Cassidy are kind of... Darby's being positioned as like the next guy, and Orange Cassidy is there with him, I guess, because you can't be one person going up against a faction. Uh, Now, if they were smart, because nobody seems to want to fight Marina because of politics stuff from TK and not wanting to do that, then you got to have a lady in your corner, because Marina Shafir will choke out a dude, but nobody will fight Marina Shafir. So at some point, you're going to have to get a lady to hang out to make that a problem that goes away. Um, and Private Party coming back out and just getting fucking beat up again. It's just like, fuck off. Moxley no-sold offense from Private Party like it was nothing, like a couple weeks ago, and it was like, oh, they should just quit. They should just quit the company at this point. Like, they're just not being, they're never going to be taken seriously. So I understand that I sound very down on this, on all of this. I sound, sorry, I gotta take this photo right here. I sound like I hate AEW and blah, blah, blah. And that's not, I just think that if you are going to do a storyline where you are taking quotes from a movie about a real life neo-Nazi, then you gotta fucking know what you're doing with that story. You can't be lazy about this shit. And AEW feels incredibly lazy with this particular storyline. And I'm just not, I'm not psyched about it. I don't like it. So we can separate these, and we'll do the separation because I think that's fun. And Adam Cole is just a face, so just forget he was a heel. Yeah, I mean, like, so that one makes more sense to me because Adam Cole was taken off TV, this year by MJF. MJF as a heel attacked Adam Cole as a heel so that Adam Cole could take a little more time off before he came back, so that he could come back as a babyface. That one makes sense to me. Like, in the same way that Jay White is a babyface, despite everything about Jay White. But no, Jay White wants to beat up Hangman, so Jay White is a babyface. Like, I get it. That to me makes sense. More than Jon Moxley needs to fix AEW, and the problem with AEW was Bryan Danielson, I guess. Bryan Danielson was the big like, when another storyline in AEW is that the EVPs do whatever they want and control everything and can overrun and override stuff, and have done that. When the EVPs are clearly the biggest goddamn problem in the company, to be like, the problem with this company is Bryan Danielson. It's just like, that just doesn't read. Like, it doesn't read at all. It just seems really weird. All right, so we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then these are like weird little extra modes that we can do if we wanted to. Little flight mode thing here. Put that on, like that. And then this comes off here. This comes off here. All right, so this goes down. These go out. Then this goes like this, basically. Hmm. Hmm. This goes like this. And then this goes like that. Basically, this thing like flies around and then combines, and it's silly. The whole thing is silly, but we do have this as well. And then I guess this is supposed to dock with that, but we don't. The RG, the real grade, the backpack docks with, the backpack docks with the cockpit, but we don't get that in this version. So they don't show it because we don't get that. Did I not do this right? Like that. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think I did this correctly, but whatever. We'll make it work. So yeah, we got this weird little extra mode thing. Get this weird little mode. But we'll take a pause for the cause in a bit. We'll talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we'll talk about other stuff from the world of anime and manga. Overall, I thought Wrestle Dream was fine. I'm glad that I will say this, folks. I am happy that I did not take Saturday off in order to watch it live, because I would have left the main event feeling like, oh, what are we fucking doing here? So I'm glad that I didn't have that experience. Instead, I just watched it yesterday and today, and felt very differently about it. So that's nice. And what am I going to say? Yeah, I felt pretty good about that after the fact. So I don't know what I'm going to do about the next pay-per-view, Full Gear. Am I going to watch Full Gear? It's a Saturday show. Am I going to take that Saturday off? I don't know. I'm not going to take a photo of these. This is a weird thing. I'm not going to worry about that. Anyway. Okay. All right. We're gonna get ready here to take a look at the A-Team van here. This is the Tweandar A-Team van. This is a knockoff Lego set. The bags are numbered, and we are going to open the bags in order. Sometimes these knockoff Legos do have numbered bags, and then the first step is open all the bags. But this particular one doesn't do that. It does want you to open them like one bag at a time. In this case, there are 2 number 1 bags, but whatever. Also, there are stickers, because the stripe on the sides of the vehicle are stickers. So we do have some stickers to apply, which we will, of course, do when the time comes. That's a rarity for knockoff Lego. I have no idea how that Lego is or those stickers are gonna feel. We won't know until the very end, because we don't need them till the end. But we do have bags 4. So again, it is a step up that the bags that are numbered we actually get to use in order. Generally, they are more for the people making the kit and assembly and making sure they have all the right parts, more so than it is for me, the builder. But yeah, this looks fairly okay as far as instructions go. But we'll start by opening up our bags here. Legally speaking, it is the GMC Vandura and not the A-Team van. Dirty. Yes, and also no. So on the box, they are saying, oh, this is just a car. But there is an A-Team logo on it, and also the Amazon listing is for the A-Team van. I did not buy a model kit of the GMC or a brick kit, I should say. The term is brick kit of the GMC Vandura, even though the box says GMC Vandura. It also says A-Team right there on the box. And then also, as I said, the ad on YouTube or on Amazon was for the A-Team van. So yeah. Whoops. What happened? What the fuck? How did we go out of focus? God damn it. Hold on. Let me reset it here. I don't know why we just went out of focus. I don't have autofocus set on. I have manual focus, so I have no idea why that happened like that, but it did. That was weird. Sorry, everybody. No, Lashbrook, it's 100% not a licensed product. There's no way this is. It's not at all. Lord Crashington, no, thank you. No, thank you, Lord Crashington. That's a, why did you, no, I'm not doing that. I will refund you later your points. I don't know why you thought now would be the time for me to hit the dance button. I appreciate if that is humor, but it is not funny to me at all. Because I just had to reset my camera for the first time since starting to use my camera. I will refund you your channel points in the future, but I'm not hitting the dance button. Yeah, so this is not a licensed product. This is not an official thing. This is the thing that I don't know if this company exists outside of Amazon. But yeah, manufactured in, yeah, support. So these things are always interesting because they're like, if you have an issue, you want to email support@gobricks.cn. Which has nothing to do with anything, who knows what GoBricks is. They're not the name of the company that made this. They're not the name of the people that sold this. Who the fuck knows? Oh, Lord Crash says, sorry, just saw the Lego kit and was excited for that. Yeah, no, I'm very frustrated right now because I just had to reset my camera. And I don't know why, because it auto-focused blurry and I couldn't get it back. So yeah. But yes, no, I'm mad. All right, I'm going to do a very quick pause for the cause. I'm not going to talk too long because I want to get into doing some part sorting here while I talk to you about a manga and an anime. So very briefly, I will just say, if you're currently a subscriber to the Kuma Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 Blue emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you want to become a subscriber, that would be great. If you want to gift a sub, that would be awesome. If you want to throw some bits and coins, join Harold with the gift sub leaderboard. That would be great too. These are all things you could do. Do you have to do any of these things? No. Could you? Yes. I'll mention that I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Please check out my Patreon in the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. Different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining that. I have an Amazon wish list. I would love for you to check that out. I recently added some stuff to my Amazon wish list, I should say. Like the sushi kit that I've mentioned I have on there. A Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog escape set, which is Shadow the Hedgehog on a motorcycle. That's an official Lego set. I would like to build that at some point. That's on the wish list. Some more knockoff Lego from City. I forget the full name of that company. I got a bunch of stuff in there. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build. Pick it up on the old wish list. Recently added the Jin High Maneuver from Gundam Seed. That looks pretty fucking cool. It's a green mobile suit. I like that. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff on that wish list. I'd be happy to build any of those things. See if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. You could pick that up, and then I could build it on stream. Let's see. I have a Discord. All of this and more will be in the show description of the YouTube video if you want to check that out. And today I put up a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. Pat Bear's Anime Club is my ongoing video series where I talk about anime every other week. Dirty's throwing those emotes in there. Thanks, Dirty. This most recent Pat Bear's Anime Club, you should check out because Uh, I just put up today. I talk about all of the 7 isekai that are out this season. And now, in the comments was a question. Hey, from the description and what we know of Dragon Ball Daima, is Dragon Ball Daima an isekai? Because they go to the demon realm. And my answer to that is maybe, but it isn't out yet, and we don't know. But also, there are alien planets and other dimensions in Dragon Ball, and I wouldn't say that any other part of Dragon Ball is an isekai. So I wouldn't off the bat think that Dragon Ball Daima is an isekai, because they've already been to the hell dimension, the home for infinite losers, if you're an old school dub guy. There's a little discussion in the comments. You can weigh in the comments. Watch that video. I feel pretty good about that one. And then, if you haven't watched my episode of Kuma Baer, where I talk about dungeon people, please watch that, because I think that one turned out great. And other people have been watching it, which is nice. All right, I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to, and then we're going to overhead go to the camera. I'm going to talk about a manga that I have been reading and an anime that I have been perusing and watching. And we're going to start by getting this kit built. And we will do that right now. And to shake off the bad mood that I was in momentarily, again, I did not get good sleep last night, and I've been a little grumpy today. My apologies for being grumpy. Lord Crash didn't use the channel points at a time where I was not pleased for the dance button, but now I will honor it. Here is the dance button. Dramatically open these bags to the dance music. Oh wow, these do not want to open well. Holy shit, these do not want to open. I'm going to use my X-Acto blade, because these do not want to open up well. That just built. Yeah, these bags look like they should just open real easily, but they do not. So I'm going to use my X-Acto blade to do that. We're opening bags 1 and 1. Yeah, you can see the 1 there. Do we need to open both bag 1s? It only says 1 bag 1, but we're going to open both because I'm not sure, because there's not a lot of instructions in these instructions. As always, folks, my reminder to you is that when you are opening bags for any kind of Lego or fake Lego, you want to make sure that you have opened it or removed every piece of it. You want to make sure that there is nothing there that you have not opened, because that will just lead to trouble later, especially if you're like me and you toss things aside. We don't normally, I would know, but every component of this except for 1 is black. So guess what? Most of this kit is just black. So we don't really have to know anything. We're just going to put aside, I think, the 1 piece we have here that is not a black piece, and then push all of this kind of like on either side, and we're just going to hunt and peck a little bit as we need to. We do have our own brick separator here. They included a brick separator that is clearly a knockoff. This is, for comparison's sake, this is the Lego brick separator, and this is a thinner material. This is the second time I have received a knockoff brick separator. It's got ridges on the side for some reason, and the grips are different, so that you can say that it is different and not a copy. But yes, I always keep my plastic bags until I'm done with a build. I miss a piece now and then. Yes, Ristafan, that's why I always go real deep. You saw me there. Yeah, we'll see if I need it. We will use the supplied brick separator to separate bricks if necessary. Now, I could go in and I could do like my stuff here where I kind of get everything organized and do all that. I think we're okay. Right off the bat, I can tell you these don't feel great. They feel comparable to the other kits, the The Mold King. Mold King is still probably the best of all of the knockoffs that I've built with, but that's not saying a lot. Yeah, these don't feel great. They'll do. And as we start to get ready to assemble this kit here, I will start talking about the manga that I have been reading that I want to chat with you about. It's Manga Monday, so we got to talk about manga. I need one of these, a 4x6, and I need a 4x6 and a 4x8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 4x8, and this is the 4x6. And then look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are not to scale. This is not a to scale instruction booklet, which is okay. It doesn't have to be. So we're going to do 2 and 2, 4 and 4. Great. So we do that. That feels not great. And then we need a 4x8, which is going to go here. And then a 1x8. I will say, I will give them credit. This does say 1x8 right there. So that's nice. I do like that. It does have the number 1x8. That is helpful. So I do appreciate that. Anyway, let me tell you about a splendid revenge story of a Super-Dreadnought cheat Villainess. This is an isekai. This is a girl that died, and she awakens in the body of the upcoming, soon-to-be Villainess of an otome game, a dating game. And she is shocked. She really knows the story, and she liked the Villainess. She always thought the Villainess was mistreated and mishandled. That the Villainess, that her life was in shambles, and she was justified in the one thing that this Villainess had going for her. She had a rough upbringing, and was detested by the people around her and abused by the people around her. And the one thing she had going for her in all of this, her escape, was the fact that she was engaged to the Crown Prince. And that was her escape plan. And then a bunch of false charges was made about her. And the heroine of the story elopes with the prince and live happy ever after. And the best ending for her is banishment, and the worst is death. And our girl is now the main character. She is now Lunaria. She's now Lunaria. And she hasn't been, the events, the heroine hasn't even arrived yet. The events of the story have not unfolded. She is in you had to dig into deep stories and interviews prelude, basically. It's not even part of the main story. It's not even part of a visual novel to help sell the story or anything like that. She's before the story takes place. And so our girl realizes, I died, and for some reason I became Lunaria. Lunaria apparently tried to kill herself, and in the process, our girl took over her body, and we don't know why. That's not supposed to be in the story. That's not how it's supposed to happen. There are some things throughout the, as of right now, 11 chapters that I have read that are going against the plot of the story. Mainly because events aren't unfolding as they should, because as you may have guessed by the story there, revenge story, our main character's you kept hoping against hope that things would go your way, that your brother would be reminded of who you were, that your father would have a change of heart, that they would side with you over your stepmother and your stepsister. And none of that happened. None of that happened. And so our girl is you didn't have, you still believed in them. You didn't have the conviction to enact your revenge. I do. And our girl finds allies, takes care of her stepsister and her stepmother, and says, like, so this is a nice little thing. We have the revenge elements, but the revenge, this is an interesting take on it. It is not just like, I've taken over this body and I can do anything because I know the events of the story and I have the magic ability of this girl and I can use, and I have the drive to do the things she wouldn't do. Like, that's there. But also, in an attempt to, like, exonerate her brother or protect her family from the stepsister sibling and the stepmom, the real Lunaria had done a bunch of stuff to make, like, insurance policies of, like, make sure that the legal documents didn't have their name anywhere, so they can't claim anything. Like, they don't have access to this money. Like, have the evidence that apparently the brother was having an affair with the stepsister, and that was to just use her to kind of control them, and not, like, she thought she was manipulating him, he was using her, but now our girl knew all that because it's referenced in the text, and so she's able to, like, take advantage of that. So she's, like, using the evidence collected by the old Lunaria who couldn't go through with this and live anymore, and she's, like, enacting revenge for her. And it's interesting because you think, like, well, she could just leave. She could use her knowledge and her abilities to just leave the house, like, give up. But instead, she wants the revenge. Like, she's basically enacting revenge she couldn't do in the video game for the character that she identified with, that she's now embodying. I think it's interesting. There's a moment where she fights her father, and her father has an item that he probably had in the game but never used, because why would he? And that's interesting. And we're left with the cliffhanger of episode 11, where a knight that she knew from childhood, they were childhood friends, is like, who are you? He can tell because he's crafty, and that this is not the girl that I knew. This is not, like, not only is she acting in a way that Lunaria wouldn't act, but it's definitely someone else. Because her father does, at one point, seem to, like, wonder who she is, because she's not acting the way she would. And you could argue it's like, well, I've just finally had a change of heart or something like that. And they don't do that. Instead, to this guy, this trainee knight, her old childhood friend, the cliffhanger, she's like, yeah, I'm not her. I'll explain it to you and the other 4 family heads. It's fun. There's some good revenge in this. We're now, like, the revenge is done. She got revenge over her father and her brother and her stepsister and her stepmom. She's in control of the family. She's honoring the legacy of her mother and her grandmother. She destroyed the annex that she was forced to live in right near the main house, and is living her best life, and is the duchess of it, and everything's good. And the people that were supporting her in the shadows are now able to help her out in full. But now there's a whole thing of, like, okay, well, that's there, but now we got to find out, like, does it all go away because people think that, like, the real Lunaria is somewhere out there, or she's not. I don't know. So it's interesting. Like I said, it's typical in its revenge, but it's atypical in its attempt to... All right, so I got to see this hangover. Black on black is a little tough, even with the outline. I do like that they do the red outline here. It got dark when I put this out there. I hate that. That is helpful. I'm going to have to color balance again, folks. I didn't think I would need to, but Let me see if I can just adjust a little bit here. Let's see if I can brighten things up here a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure the really washed out if I do that. We'll do this. This is not great, but this is temporary. For Thursday stream, I will go in and I'm going to re-white balance and try to get this all looking better. But this is what we've got for the rest of the stream. There's not a lot of the stream. But yeah, I think it's interesting in its revenge story in that it is dealing with the, hey, even if it was understandable that you were dealing with these issues, if you are taking over someone's body, someone is going to fucking notice that something is wrong. And that's interesting. That's interesting. I think that's interesting, like an interesting take on it. So I look forward to seeing more of this manga. All right, so so I did something wrong. Something is wrong with what I did here. I did do something wrong. Okay. This is too big. That's what it is. This is a 6-piece. Again, this is all black on black, so I'm doing my best to make sure that I got these correct here. And now when this goes on, it should go like that. Yes, and then 1, 2, 3 there. Okay, and then the other piece goes on the other side, just like that. Now I'm going to talk to you about this episode. I have watched episode 2 of Ranma 1/2. I have decided that I will be talking about Ranma 1/2 on a weekly basis here. Last week, I kind of just gave an overview of this adaptation, this MAPPA adaptation of Ranma 1/2, the modernization here. I will give you a brief synopsis of episode 1 before I delve into episode 2 and kind of give a little bit more of a detailed talk about episode 2. Basically, Akane, our main character, she does not like boys. She is sick of dudes. We later learned that in her school, she's not going to date someone that's not as strong as her, is that she constantly is getting challenged by boys, some of whom are pig-headed and don't think that she would be that strong. Others who just like have it in their heads that if they fight her and beat her, then it's fine for them to express their feelings for her or try to date her or whatever. She's not having it. She's not interested in it. Ranma and Genma, son and father. Ranma is the main character here, and Genma, they are old friends with Akane's family. They are here staying with them. They're martial artists, just like Akane is. There is a secret. Ranma, when dunked in water, his gender switches, and he looks like a lady with pigtails. Ranma-chan, as he's often called. And his dad, Genma, when he gets in contact with water, he becomes a panda. And the only thing I need to tell you is that Ranma fucking hates this shit, some of it, which is his own feelings on gender, which we'll talk about. And Genma kind of doesn't give a fuck about this. Genma does not care that he is that he becomes a panda sometimes. So Nabiki and Akane are walking to school, and he's like, "Oh, Akane," and they run into Ranma. You guys all come together. Akane does not want Ranma to act like they know each other, and Ron was like, yeah, I wouldn't tell people we know each other. You're violent. And I'm not. It's like basically just like, I don't like you is what he says. Um, Ranma gets accidentally turned into a female version of himself by an elderly a woman splashing water on him. Uh, he's like, well, now I'm going home because he does not want to go to school as a girl, which Akane seems to. Akane is actually reasonable about this because she, even though they don't like each other, she understands that this really does genuinely bother him, this element of his life. And she is only one of these and one of these and two of those. Okay. And so she is genuinely like trying to be like supportive of him, which is nice. Nice little thing. We have a run-in. This'll like mean more later, but Dr. Tofu is here. He's a chiropractor. Akane has some sort of relationship with him. And Ranma is confused by that. He has a skeleton with him at one point. He's a bit of a weirdie. They go to school, and then a bunch of male students come at Akane. They want to fight Akane. Nabiki is there. Akane just fights with boys every morning. She beats them up. Then we get introduced to a character that's going to be important for this episode and future episodes. I could say that. I need 5 of these and 1 of these. Then we'll just kind of do that. The glare of my lights makes this paper a little hard to read. So I may have some issues here and there with that. So we get introduced to Tatewaki. Tatewaki is the captain of the Kendo Club. He wants to defeat Akane so that he can profess his love. He wants to know why Ranma is with Akane and does not like his answer, so he attacks Ranma. And so Ranma, I think maliciously, I don't think he's doing this. I think he's legitimately doing this maliciously. He's just like, oh yeah, well, Akane and I live together. He's just like, yeah, I live there. And he's like talking about his own martial school abilities. They fight. Tatewaki has trouble even with his kendo stick fighting Ranma. He thinks that they're dating. Ranma wants to clear the air right away. Like he does some stuff to be like a dick about it, but he's like, no. You need to understand that we are not dating. Like, no, we are not a couple. We are not an item. Like, he wants to make it very clear, which is fun. There's interference for Genma for whatever reason. And Ranma turns into a girl, so he has to flee. Ranma turns back into a boy. Akane thinks that Ranma and Tatewaki would have had a draw. There's a whole school thing. They have to stand outside because they're late. They talk about it. Ranma Nabiki tells Tatewaki that Ranma is Akane's fiance, which is, while true, not something either of them wants. It is just causing more misunderstandings and more trouble, which that's what she wants from the situation, is to cause more mischief, which she does. We get some philosophy. Ranma is our main character. He's certainly dealing with a lot of gender bullshit in that he turns into a woman when he gets water poured on him. But also, he thinks that he doesn't fight girls because he can't take them seriously. which is like, come on, dude. And then Akane smartly and astutely is just like, well, why don't I just pour some water on you and then we can fight as girls? She's like, yeah, all right. Tadawaki is mad and confronts them about the fact that they're engaged. He does not like that, which now allows a lot of other people to hear that they're engaged, which is not great for either of them because they do not want people to know that. Ranma wants to fight Tadawaki, and so they leap out of a window, but they end up in a pool. So Ranma turns into a girl, and Tadawaki is unconscious, and so he just like hits him, and then she hits him and then leaves. He thinks that Ranma ran away from him. Akane fights Tadawaki. Ranma is still a girl, though. And he apparently is smitten with Ranma-chan and is like, yeah, I'm gonna ask you on it. I'm gonna demand a date when I win. It's just like, gross, dude. Why are you like this? What if you weren't like this? What if you were like not weird? But you know, it's a romantic comedy, so people gotta be gross and weird sometimes. Let's see. Ranma is trying to hide her identity because she doesn't want to know. They leave the school. And then we find out that Takawaki wants to meet with the pig-tailed girl, which is Ranma as a girl. And Ranma thinks that this is going to be a fight. So he shows up as the lady to fight him. And then he gets handed a bunch of flowers. And apparently Tadawaki is smitten with Ranma, and so that is the end of the episode 2. A lot of misunderstandings. Fight scenes looked really good. Akane, like I was worried that they were going to downplay how good of a martial artist Akane is. They're not doing that. Ranma is still a jerk that we eventually will like more, and we understand. We're meant to very much understand where he's coming from and what he's dealing with, even though he is not always nice while he is dealing with all this stuff. Sorry, I did something wrong. I think I put this on the wrong spot here. I did something. Okay, yes. This piece is not supposed to be here. I have to use the brick separator here and to separate these pieces here. Okay, yes. I put this in the wrong side. This is supposed to live here. So let me fix that. But yeah, this adaptation of Ranma 1/2 so far, I'm enjoying. I think it is a solid interpretation of the story, and I am enjoying myself as I peruse it. Okay, yes. So now I have fixed my mistake. I put that on the wrong side, and I was like, this doesn't seem right because it wasn't right. We have a little time left in the stream. I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? Let me know in the chat. I always like to hear from you about what you got going on. So you can feel free to let me know what's up, because it's always nice to hear. I will tell you that what I told you at the top of the stream, I spent a lot of time this weekend disassembling my room, cleaning it thoroughly, using the carpet cleaner, and then going back and okay, so this goes here. All right, we're not ready to attach this. This is the front fender, I believe. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time doing a bunch of bullshit, which I have completed. I also watched some wrestling, as we talked about, and I played several more hours of. It turns out that besides Hearthstone, my everyday game right now is an hour or two of building up my store and TCG Card Shop Simulator. So that has been fun. I have been enjoying my time with that quite a bit. All right, so this got to go like this. And then I need 2 of these and 1 of the... This piece, not... Yeah. Ooh, this is blue. Okay. This is blue. I couldn't tell before. This is a different color than this, but it is. This blue is I think it's supposed to be like the license plate holder. That's representing the license plate holder. Okay. But yeah, I'm playing a lot of that and playing Hearthstone. And I did start a little bit of, because it's a very big map, I want to be like 50% done with the first location in the Power Wash Simulator Shrek pack, which we're not looking at until 2 weeks from tomorrow. So I will be, when we do look at that, I want to like be at least 50% done with that, so we can look at the map, but also it's going to take a long time because it's a big location with a lot to clean, which I'm astutely aware of. So we will get to that when the time comes. But again, that's 2 weeks from tomorrow. Let's see. John is watching House MD and mostly all of the Metaphor, Refantasio, and EDF 6. Nice. Nice. Oops, did I miss a step? Where did that? Oh, I did miss a step. No, I didn't miss a step. Oh, okay, these go on here. All right. Now I get it. I was confused and I picked it up. Lord Crash has been watching more Metaphor, enjoying more Metaphor Refantasio. As I reach the point where they announce a big publicity contest to pick a new king. Dirty says, started rewatching TNG. Still rewatching TNG today. Just got to season 5 and watched the Darmok episode. Fuck yeah. And playing some D4. I got one last job to do in Power Simulator for the Shrek DLC. Nice. Yeah, like I said, I have started a little bit. I'm going to be picking at that over the course of the next 2 weeks just to get ready for it, so I don't have to like do a lot before we go, but I'll have done some before we go. Ghostfell says, I'm between TCG and trying some new Next Fest. Some Next Fest demos. Yeah, I have not looked at any Next Fest demos. I don't know when I will or if I will, but yeah, I have not looked at any myself. Aristophan finished Zelda, which was an enjoyable time. Metaphor is great. Hell yeah. And then Lastbrick says, been splitting my time between TCG Sim and Sparkling Zero. Got a 4.5K foil full art, but nobody has come by with enough money to buy it yet. Yeah, that's going to be a tough sell. Because you could mark it, even if you mark it down, it still might be a tough sell. So next stream we will finish on Thursday. Next build stream we will finish up this bag here, put this together with that, get that all together and looking good. Hold on one second. Gotta move to the rich part of town to sell that. Yeah. You might not run into any big spenders. So yeah, we're going to keep working on this. I have bags 2 and 2, 3 and 4, and some stickers. So I think this will definitely take all of Thursday's stream. I don't know if we're going to finish it on Thursday, but we'll get pretty far with it. And tomorrow, as I figure out who we're going to go raid, because we always end every stream with a raid. You know, that's how we do it. You can spend your time, Sparkling Zero. I want to get Sparkling Zero on a 50% off sale someday for the campaign. As John says, we always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing some cool shit out there and go spend some time there. Lord Crashin, I do believe you are correct. I do believe Mary is not streaming. Speaking of streaming, as I figure out who we're going to go raid, a reminder for folks that my next stream will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm checking out Europa. It's a game that came out last Thursday. It was a side project for a long time by some devs from some big games that have finally completed. It is a Ghibli-inspired, like, adventure, like, fun adventure series. Yeah, John, I don't know what's going on with this camera stuff. I'll have to investigate further. I don't know how much longer Aura Hack is going to be streaming. Aura and someone else are playing Destiny 2, and so we're going to raid Aura. But yeah, let's check out Europa tomorrow night. I've been excited about this one. This is not a sponsored stream, but I did get a code for it. So I did get a code for Europa. But just so you know, I was not paid. It's not going to be a paid stream or anything like that. But I will be playing that tomorrow, and I did receive a code for it. So come back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's go raid my friend Aura Hack, who we have not been able to raid ever because they usually stream for me in the afternoon. Aura's co-streamer is an Apex Legends voice actor. That fucking rules. All right, come along in this raid. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.